Welcome everybody to June 25th, 2025. I'm Sherman Gomberg, and we're going to be talking about fueling enterprise agility with 7 proven AI-driven steps to achieve that strategic innovation. A little bit about me. I am the founder and CEO of Scrum Adventures, founded the company in 2016. Did that in order to bring agile transformation to our clients, our customers, individuals, teams as we can go. Been doing that for several decades already through many different experiences. I am a certified Scrum trainer. I'm also a certified team coach. I'm a training from the back of the room trainer. I'm also an IC Agile accredited trainer. And I've also been a member of PMI since 2001. So a lot of great stuff there. I am the creator of the vision behind the CaDoMi Agile Transformation Ecosystem, which we'll explore a little bit today as we kind of go through how AI is part of that. That this is meant to be an ecosystem to guide your organizations on their journey of agility to make a difference for your customers and users in ways that you couldn't have thought about before. And now it includes AI. I have a lot of training and facilitation expertise. Facilitation comes up all the time now, and that is kind of a hot topic too. So if you're seeking facilitation, speak out, ask about it. And I love to bring leadership and mentorship. You need leaders to be aligned to make that difference. Get that psychologically safe environment, to create the autonomy, get into that agile mindset with the open mind, moving from the fixed mind. Here's the learning outcomes that we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to focus on transforming organizational agility using the CaDoMi Agile Transformation Ecosystem, the framework. We are going to leverage AI extensively to align a problem statement to a vision, to get towards objectives, to create transformation, to build a backlog, and measure that agility. Third part, measure everything we do. We're going to measure in 2 ways, measuring agility, but we also are going to measure value. Did we actually build the right thing at the right cost with the right quality? All of this is being done with AI. These are the learning outcomes that you're going to get today. In order to make that happen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with, open it all up. We're going to start here at the top. We're going to start with organizational agility. So what is CaDoMi? We'll start with that so you understand what an organizational agility is. From there, we're going to move on to vision. How do we build a vision statement here with AI? Again, AI is part of everything. And I hope when you walk away from this course, you will think, how can I use AI into everything? That should be one of the first thoughts that you start to take away from here and realize, wow, I have all these assistants at my beck and call to help me do something amazing and make a difference. It's a human-computer interaction is what we're looking to do. From vision, we'll build OKRs, objectives and key results. Once we got those in place, we build a backlog, a transformation backlog. And then we're going to move on to delivery. How do we build something we can deliver against that problem statement for that vision, aligning with the objectives and key results that also matches the transformation we're putting in place in our organization to build and make this difference. Then we measure. We measure the agility. Is our organization working in the right way? And we measure against the OKRs. Did we actually deliver the value that we were seeking? Bringing in the agile portion, the value, aligning with the business, and delivering with the right quality and the right cost. Let's get into step 1. We're going to look at organizational agility. We're going to do this by introducing what CaDoMi is and how we use that as an ecosystem to guide an organization. Here's what CaDoMi is. So CaDoMi is a relentless capacity of an organization to sense and respond to anticipate change. All of this kind of aligns with what the Agile Manifesto is about. We're trying to empower people in the whole organization, continual learning. When you get to the core of agility, you're basically creating an organizational that embraces learning. It becomes systemic into everything they do. So it becomes an obsessive pursuit, being extraordinarily delivering, create value for the customer. Always keep in mind of the customer. So this is what we're looking to do when we talk about CaDoMi. CaDoMi itself, guide the organization from your current state. We always start with where you are at today. It's really important you do that anytime you're doing an organizational transformation. Don't try to make somebody fit into a particular model because nobody fits into a model. There is no average, there is no usual. Every organization, every team is different. So you have to start with the current state. Where are we at today? Then we go ahead and we start looking, how do we get on that journey, which we'll explore today? What teams do we need to build? How do we change those adjustments? We do that with programs and products, accelerators coming with a toolbox, using game techniques in order to create learning that sticks and lands and can actually be used. We do that by supplementing it with certifications to measure that we have the competence across our organization. We also need to measure, continually measure, which feeds back in, so you get the full feeding into it. Our CaDoMi ecosystem looks like this. It's adaptable, it's customizable, it's meant to be a framework. It is not a methodology. It is not going to tell you what to do. It is there to guide your organization from where they're at to make a difference for customers. So it consists of the teams that we're looking at, accelerators with programs, products, bringing in gameplay, complementing that with certifications, and your continual journey in pursuit of excellence that makes a difference for customers. The CaDoMi ecosystem consists of 3 core different types of teams. We have a cat team, a dog team, a mice team. Together, these make up the word CaDoMi. Cat teams consist of a coaching, assessment, and transformation, putting together a team that helps guide the journey through the organization. Dog teams are disruptive, self-organized groups. They're disruptive because we need people to think different, to do something that's amazing and not just follow an easy playbook, but actually go and try something different. So these are the teams that actually build the product they deliver. The mice teams are basically these multiple innovative communities of excellence. They bring specialty skills, ideas. They're not builder teams, but they're teams that are kind of innovative, research, development, design, helping us to be on the forefront of anything we can do so the dog teams can deliver, supplemented by the cat team to drive all of this innovation and disruption we're looking for. These 3 teams work together and kind of are the core of the CaDoMi ecosystem. Our ecosystem also consists of many accelerators. This is basically a toolbox. Think of any type of profession you have, you've got to come with tools. We as Agilists also need to come with tools. We need to have tools to help people and organizations from where they're at to become agile, to make a difference. Here's a typical set of tools that are already available for anybody who's learned and gone through the CaDoMi ecosystem and gotten to know it and learn it. Most of these are available that you can learn by self-learning or join one of our certifications to get them to use for yourself. Everything from how do we develop agile teams, measuring agility, measuring value, gameplay, putting together an agile coaching program. How do I put coaches in place in an organization to make a difference? How do I create teams that can supply their own feedback through retrospectives and create Kaizens? How do I go ahead and have apps that are available for all the teams to work in a virtual world? That's important too. Our CaDoMi ecosystem now consists of its own AI. Our AI is a CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT available in the chat GPTs. This Agile Coach is a trained coach. It is your assistant. It's like having 100 coaches at your beck and call whenever you need it. This coach is trained on Agile. It's trained on Scrum. It's trained on the entire CaDoMi Agile ecosystem. It's trained from ICF, the International Coaching Federation, having that coaching stance. It's trained on ethics from ICF, Agile Alliance, and Scrum Alliance. It's trained on the Scrum Guide. This Agile coach is like having a truly professional coach all the time. This should be your partner. This should be your peer in everything that you do. And we're going to use this extensively as we go through today, and to see how you can have your Agile coach to help you make a difference for your clients and your organization. Let's go ahead and move into step 2. So when we get into step 2, we're going to be talking about vision. How do we go and find out what is it we need to do? So to start with that, we have to figure out that vision. So let's start with what is a product vision. So according to Roman Pickler, product vision describes the purpose of a product or a service. A product could be a service, a physical product, a framework, an architecture, but describes the purpose of a product, the intention which the product is being created, and what it aims to achieve for those customers and users. The product vision must describe a future state. The vision always has to be future. We don't know what we're going to build yet, but we need a product vision that is going to create us that room in order to make that happen. So the product vision describes a future state for the product and what problems it tries to resolve or what ambitions it's trying to fulfill. So a really good definition here by Roman Pickler. All right, so how do we go about creating a product vision statement? We do this in 4 steps. First thing you need to do, we have to understand the problem. If we don't know the problem that we're trying to solve, we're just going to be busy. So step 1, understand the problem. Once you know what the problem is that's happening in the real world that makes a difference here, then we want to do a step 2. Step 2 is basically a really good way of getting everybody involved, get full alignment. We do a silent word ideation. We're going to do this here as a group. We're going to do a silent word ideation to figure out what's important to us to solve this problem. The silent word ideation lets us say, we all know what this problem is. We're good. We understand it. We agree with it. Now we come up with the words that will help us to figure out a vision statement that aligns with this problem. Once we do the silent word ideation, we group them. We might have words that are exactly the same or synonyms or themes. So we want to get those words grouped. We're going to do that with our CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT, represented here by Red Rabbit. So this is a Red Rabbit Agile Coach. We have several coaches we'll see. This is a Red Rabbit Agile Coach. So Red Rabbit Agile Coach, as our CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT, is going to help us with grouping the words. Once we group the words, our Red Rabbit CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT is going to create our product vision statement for us. It's going to know the problem. It knows the words that were interesting to you. It'll create the grouping and synonyms for us, and we'll get a vision statement that we can do. All right. This course, we're going to have some interaction. We got a few interactions, and here's the first thing we're going to do. All right, so if you guys do want to come on video, I always love seeing many faces. If you don't, that's fine too, but I definitely want your activity involvement. All right, here's what we need to do. We have several problems out in the real world. Here are 4 typical problems that happen in the real world. Too many people live on the street, inconsistent energy, a high traffic fatality rate. We also have food deserts in places where we wouldn't expect it. These are 4 real world problems. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to menti.com. You're going to enter this code, or you can go ahead and, if you want to do it on your phone, you can scan that QR code. I'm going to go ahead and open that up while you guys get connected to that. All right, you should be able to join now. I went ahead and started it, and I'll wait for everybody to get connected. So go to menti.com and enter that code, or scan the QR code and come join. I have 6 of you in. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. We got the 4 problems. What you're going to do is you need to rank these. Seven of you joined. Good. Sorry if I went ahead. So go ahead and rank those. Is that working? Are you guys able to rank it?
How do you do that?
All
You
right,
just
yeah, they're
talk.
ranking now. Good. One of you have ranked it. Good. Yeah, so one of you just did it. So yeah, you're going to join the menti.com. 7 of you are in there. And then you're going to go ahead and look at these 4 problem statements, and you're going to decide which one's most important to you, which one would be second, third, and fourth. So rank these 4 problems. Whichever one gets the highest ranking, that will be the one that we will go ahead and share.
Ah,
I'll show the screen in a minute, but I'm going to let you guys do this first. I'll wait for everybody to participate and rank the problem because we want to choose which problem statement do you guys want to work on today. We're going to solve this. In this hour, we are going to solve this problem. Now, we're not going to do anything physical, but we're going to solve it in practice. What do we need to do to solve it? And these are real problems in the world. Good. 4 of you. 3 more. 5 of you. 2 more people to go ahead and rank them.
okay. Got it.
I got 5 of you. 2 more to rank. 6 of you. 1 more. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over so you can kind of see the results. All right, we got 8 of you in here now. Anybody else still need to rank? 2 of you haven't ranked yet, but we did get 1 more person to join. Good job. All right, so here's our problem we're going to solve, though. Too many individuals living on the streets. You guys see me turning around. I am playing fetch with my cat, so that's what's going on there. Yes, I have a cat that plays fetch. So that's what we are doing. All right. So here's our problem. Too many individuals living on the streets persist, leading to significant social and economic challenges within communities worldwide. All right, you guys ready to solve that problem? Everybody ready? All
Cool.
right, let's go make it happen. All right, so to solve that problem, here's what we need to do. We need to go ahead and we need to move forward into the second part of building a vision statement. The second part of building a vision statement is you've got to come up with the words that are interesting to you to give us forward thinking. A product vision statement is forward thinking. So I want you to come up with individual words or a very short phrase, 1 or 2 words, but ideally 1 word, right, that you think would be impactful, that should be in a vision statement to solve this problem statement. All right, back to Menti. And I'm going to go ahead and move to the second page. Next slide. All right, this should have moved on your screen. You're now going to do a silent word ideation. So go ahead and add your words that are interesting. I'm going to put this one back up. You're on the same Menti, but now it'll switch. So come up with words. I think you can do 3 words maximum. If you only have 1 or 2 that come to your mind, that's fine. But let me give everybody 60 seconds to go ahead and think of 3 words that you think would be powerful to solve this problem statement that'll help us build a vision statement. Let's go 30 more seconds. Go 10 more seconds. One more throw of the mouse. All right, and let's go flip over. Do I edit that stuff out of the recording or do I leave that in the recording? All right, here's the words that you guys came up with. Good job, everybody. Give yourself a round of applause. Celebrate. You are now on your way to being human to machine interaction. You have basically chosen a real problem statement and you said, these are things that are interesting, impactful, and important for us to consider to solve this problem. So you are the human and we're going to now bring in the machine. I see a lot of real good stuff here. Some of the bigger ones usually means, more than one person might have selected it, but I love them. Housing, sharing, compassion, affordable housing, barter, garden, drug-free. Oh, that's a good one. Coaching, living wages, resources, funding, welfare, health, employment, training, affordable, mental. Oh, I'm going to get mental policy up there. I'm curious about barter. What is that? I'm not sure how to personally define it. Who put barter up there? Can you tell me what's in your mind? Because I would love to understand that a little bit better. Who wrote that, and can you just share for a moment?
I wasn't sure which problem statement we were addressing with our words.
Thanks, Renee. Yeah, we're addressing the too many individuals living on the streets because that was the one that was top voted by everybody.
So it could still be a economy without currency.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Good. Yeah, that helps.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just curious what that meant.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
like that. I think that's really powerful. Right. And eventually, one day in the future world, hopefully we will never need currency. Right.
Well,
Be
I said
nice.
that way. I think you said that way.
That's some different thought. All right, now enter our Agile coach. Let's bring in our CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT. All right, I just opened up ChatGPT, and first thing you do, you've got to go ahead and get your CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT. I already have it set up, but I'll show you how, so you can always do this on your own. You would go to the GPT library. You must be registered to use other GPTs. You do not have to pay. If you pay, you have unlimited prompts. If you don't pay, you have a minimum number of prompts you can do within a certain time period. All right, so you go to the GPT, which is where you can discover and find custom GPTs, such as our CaDoMi Agile Coach. You can type CaDoMi, it will find it for you. You can always type Agile Coach. It will also find it, but there are hundreds of Agile coaches out there. Ours is the third most used still. It's probably one of the newest Agile coaches still. It was built in November, so it's only about 6 or 7 months since this coach was first deployed. But you can see these are the top 3 in terms of number of usage, right? And we're ranked very high because we get continual use in all of our clients, and I hear a lot of great things. So anyway, you click on it and you start chat. Okay, now we're using the CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT. So here's the prompts we're going to build. We want to build a vision statement. So to build that vision statement, we're going to bring Red Rabbit here, our Agile Coach GPT. We need to take the problem statement. Awesome. We got a problem statement that you guys chose. And we're going to take the ideated words that you put up. From that together, we're going to get a vision statement. I have a prompt template that I have pre-created. We're going to go ahead and put this in here. Here's the prompt template. Just so you guys are aware, we're going to create a product vision statement for this problem. We're going to group these words as synonyms to create the product vision. Here's the problem. So let's put the problem statement that you guys chose. Let's add it in there. There's the problem statement. And we have to go grab the words that you put, which is a little bit harder. Let's see. I tried to select all these ones before, but it's difficult to do for Menti, but let's see what we get. All right, got most of them. Which ones did I get? I need community, health, employment, and policy. Community, oops, I missed a couple. One thing I don't like when you hit enter, it automatically enters it, and I always forget to hit shift enter.
Right.
All right. Also, I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Include, which words did I miss? I got community. I need health, employment.
Policy, right?
Also include the words of health, policy, community. Was that right?
But you got community.
Health, employment
Employment.
policy.
Employment, yeah.
Thank you. All right, now let's adjust it. So I had to update my prompt a little bit. All right, so here is our product vision statement. Our product vision statement: to co-create compassionate, community-driven solutions that end street homelessness by providing dignified housing, holistic health and wellness support, and pathways to sustainable employment, enabled through inclusive policies, affordable living, local gardens, innovative economies like barter and living wages, and a culture of training, coaching, and shared resources. How's it feel?
Pretty good. I think.
Yeah. And it showed you how it grouped them.
Yeah.
So you can see how it kind of grouped them into different areas, which we asked it to do. So it clustered them for us, right? So I used to do this before AI. When I did this with teams, this 4-step approach, but I didn't use AI, we did it regularly. This would often be like a half-day activity. I know Hutch did this. Hutch did this a couple times with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
would to make sure we actually understand the problem statement,
Yeah.
to come up with all the words, to sit down and
And then-
negotiate and
yeah.
discuss them, and then to
Yeah.
convert that into a product vision sentence and understand that that's where everybody agrees with. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was about a half-day workshop, maybe
Yeah.
2 to 4 hours, typically.
Remember the cereal box game, where you try to imagine you're gonna make a new cereal, so you're gonna design the cereal box. Yeah, and then you have to form your vision.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
I think, Sherman,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I've done that. I used to
You've
do
done-
that.
yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
done it
yeah,
in a
yeah.
long
I
time.
think you did that for state of California up in.
Okay, yeah.
I did do it for state of California, but I used to also do it when I taught a lot for I'm forgetting the name of the company. The company I taught for in LA, they were in Santa Monica downtown. I taught for them for quite a few years, and I would teach a lot of the workshops. But yeah, I would do it. Basically, it's a product box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a half a day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty cool activity.
I
All
mean,
right, I put this in chat, so if you guys want to keep that going, I'll try to keep adding these to chat, so we kind of have some visualization on this as we go. All right, let's move forward. Good job. Celebrate, everybody. Woohoo. All right. Thank you, our CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT and Red Rabbit. All right, done. We got a product vision statement based on a problem using organizational agility. Now let's say, what objectives and key results can we put in place for our organization for this vision statement to solve this problem following the CaDoMi Agile Transformation Ecosystem? All right, first of all, let's make sure everybody has awareness and understanding and clarity about what is an OKR. I'm not going to give you a whole history lesson in this course. Come join my OKR class if you want the history lesson. But here's what OKRs are. An objective. An objective is something that's qualitative, aspirational, action-oriented. It is goal-oriented. It's all about creating goals. It must be significant, concrete, inspirational, and it needs to focus on what you want to achieve. So your objective is some type of goal. The results, the key results, are measurable outcomes. Notice that we're talking about outcomes here, not just outputs. We're not being busy, but we need to create key results that are measurable outcomes to track how we can reach the objective. The objective's the goal. The key results are the outcomes that can be measured to achieve that objective. Andrew Grove, who is the founder of OKRs, originally wrote them when he worked for Intel. That's all the history I'm going to give you here. But Grove emphasized that they need to be quantifiable, leaving no room for ambiguity. We need to get rid of the ambiguity. Did you do it or not? Trying to keep it very binary here. He didn't use the word binary, which is nice. I like the word ambiguity better. All right. Thank you, Andrew Grove, for introducing OKRs to the world. So now we're going to bring in our CaDoMi Agile coach here, and we're going to bring in Pink Penguin, right? No. Yeah, purple. Yeah, Pink Penguin. We're bringing in Pink Penguin here. Pink Penguin, we have a bunch of Agile coaches, but Pink Penguin is going to take that vision statement and add SMART. SMART is a goal-oriented approach to help us build OKRs. If you're familiar with SMART, awesome. If not, I'll give you the acronym. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So we're going to take that vision statement we built and SMART, and we're going to go ahead and come up with OKRs. Okay, here's our prompt template. So we're going to continue. This is what's interesting here. This is really important we do this. We are going to continue our conversation. We are having a conversation with our assistant, our CaDoMi Agile coach, human-machine interaction. So here's our new prompt. We already have a conversation going. So our CaDoMi Agile coach here actually created a chat. It named the chat. It called it Homelessness Solution Vision. It might rename this. It does that sometimes, right? You can name it yourself if you want, but here's the chat we're working on. So I'm just adding to it. Basically, this is called a string, a prompt string. So we're creating OKRs, and I said using SMART. I made it all capitalized, so that way it kind of knows SMART is meant to be an acronym. So we're going to do that, and it's going to come back and create some set of OKRs for us. And I don't know what they're going to be here, so let's take a look at them. All right, here's some objectives based on the product vision statement we built to solve this problem. Here's objective 1, ensure access to safe, affordable, and supportive housing. The key results for that: secure funding and partnerships to develop 200 units of drug-free affordable housing by Q2 2026. So for those of you who've used SMART before, you can feel that that is SMART. It's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, and it's time-bound. Key result 2, launch 3 pilot housing communities. Key result 3, establish a resident feedback system to make sure we actually make a difference with an 85% positive response rate. So measurable, quantifiable. We have 2 other objectives that were identified for us, 3 others. It gave us 4. So objective 2, empower individuals with tools for employment and sustainable living. Good. Job readiness training, at least 500 participants, 60% employment placement. Launch a barter-based. Barter. Thank you for bringing barter in, Renee. There it is. It's in your KR. Launch a barter-based community exchange network with at least 100 active participants. If this came up in a conversation in a room, I'm going to guess some of these words would have fallen aside and they would not show up. We would miss things that we're not going to miss now. Maybe barter would have been one of them. Maybe somebody introduced it, but they didn't have that that A-type voice where they're sharing and getting everybody convinced that my barter is important. But now we made sure we heard all voices and everybody is involved. Hutch.
Yeah, Sherm, just interject here. So, one of our clients is going through the current effort of quarterly planning in preparation for an upcoming quarter. And part of their quarterly planning is being able to identify, what initiative they want to tie to OKRs. Because, so the steps that we're going through here would, tremendously improve, I think, the approach that they're taking. Because I'm sure what they're doing is coming up manually with their OKRs, and some of them have personal reasons for a certain OKR or what have you. But just the use of AI to produce OKRs tied to a vision or problem statement, I think is just awesome from that standpoint. Being able to use it, I think it adds so much value and potentially makes the whole quarterly planning, annual planning approach that much quicker, smoother, more efficient, and yeah, I'm just can't wait to kind of introduce this to our clients going forward. Yeah, especially our leaders, special leaders.
Awesome. Thank you, Hutch. I put the OKRs into chat so you guys can see them and follow along. And Eris, please share.
Yeah, looking at this, correct me if I'm way off on this one. The moment I saw, especially thanks to the keyword barter there, I imagine Scrum of Scrums, except I replaced the word fishnet of fishnets. So by throwing these words, CaDoMi and the engine behind it they take each and kind of like spread it around, and I think spending some still the classical time on those keywords, I think it's useful because what it does here, it seems that like a fishnet of fishnets. So it's fishing and trying to put those words into sentences. So I think um, as much as we're saving a lot of time, I think it will be very effective if we actually spend more of the wonderful great stuff in between our ears on those keywords, and then let the CaDoMi and the engine rip through them. So that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that insight. Not something I was thinking
Yeah.
about, but I love how you're giving that perspective of that. That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
No
right.
worries.
All right, let's move forward. Good job. All right. Celebrate. We went ahead and we just went from a problem statement to a vision to building OKRs, right? Impactful OKRs that we all are aligned with. All of our voices were heard. All of our voices were understood. We created a safe environment. Everybody feels welcomed, and we feel we can solve this problem. All right, let's move into step 4. How do we get an organization to fulfill these OKRs that supports the product vision that will deliver against that problem statement? So we've got to start to build some type of transformation backlog. All right, what is a transformation backlog? Well, in the CaDoMi Agile Transformation Ecosystem, a transformation backlog is a prioritized list of initiative and work items to achieve the objectives and key results, the OKRs. This is your central artifact to manage your scope and focus on the organization's agile transformation journey. So we need a transformation backlog, basically. The items we put into this backlog, they can include certain things as how do we do coaching? How do we handle leadership development? What about training that we need? Agile training, other framework training. How do we create culture and structure change that's important here? What about tools and metrics that need to put in place? This will evolve, just like anything we want to do. We need to create a learning organization, systemic learning here. So we're going to learn as we progress towards the OKRs. The OKRs is what we're doing, the goals we're trying to fulfill in order to do that. It needs to be transparent. Our transformation can be transparent. It's going to be adaptive using the empirical Scrum pillars. With transparency, it leads towards inspection, enabling adaptation. That's what we're looking for here. All right, here's the next thing we're going to look at. We're going to go to Menti. We're going to bring them to another slide. What we're going to do here is we're going to have to look at initiatives and work items. What are some initiatives and work items that you might think would be important for your organization to solve this OKRs for the vision statement, for the problem statement? So what we're looking for here is to realize we need the human-machine interaction. I don't want to go straight to our Agile coach yet because I want to know what's important to you. Every organization's a little different. Now, we have a mix of a whole bunch of people here and we all work for different organizations, but let's all say we're working on trying to solve this problem. So I want you to think of what initiative or work item might be important you want to do. It's like, oh, my people need training. So training might be one of the things you want. Maybe you need leadership alignment, right? Maybe you don't have that in place. Maybe you need to say, we need to hire people. Maybe that's important. We don't have any people. We're a startup. We now need to hire people. That's what we're looking for when we're doing this initiative and work item as an ideation. Here's what it looks like in Menti. All right, so here's what you're going to do. Transformation backlog, priorities, list of initiative and work items designed to achieve it. It's your central artifact for managing the scope. Okay, so one person put up there first, third, fourth. Wasn't expecting that, expecting words.
And we're still doing the same problem, right? The homeless.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
this whole session is all focusing on the problem statement, the vision. This is all
Got
incremental build. So,
Okay.
so go ahead, everybody. Put what initiatives or work items would you think would be important to help adjust your organization. So go ahead and put those in there. So one of you did it already. Well, don't worry about it. But the rest of you, let's get everybody else's voice. You can get up to 3 initiatives and work items for this activity here. I'll give everybody about 60 seconds to go ahead and do that. Still only have one of you. Anybody having challenges with this? Is it working? Are you thinking? Okay, we got one more. Thank you. Good. 2 of you. Let's hear from all the voices. Want to hear from everybody so that way we make sure everyone's involved, which is really important when you're doing an organizational transformation. We need to hear from all voices to get the most impactful human to machine interaction. Good stuff up. Change agent, hire, substance abuse, guru, teams, metrics. Yeah, these are what we're looking for. Awesome. Keep it going. 4 of you. Let's get the rest of you. 4 more to go. 5 of you. 3 more of you. 2 more of you. All right. All right. We got everybody. Woohoo. All right. Awesome. Good job. All right. Here's what we're going to do. All right. Let's bring in Yellow Yak as our new Agile coach, our new CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT. We're going to take the OKRs that we just built. We just built 4 OKRs. We're going to bring in CaDoMi here as our Agile Coach GPT in order to build a transformation backlog in order to fulfill these OKRs, in order to solve the product vision statement, in order to solve the problem. Okay, I'm grabbing the prompt right now. All right, here's our new prompt. All right, so I put the prompt in here. All right, now I need to grab your work items. I had some examples in here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab what you guys came up with here. So let me see how well I can get these.
I'm about to leave. Alex Gibb might be on when you're done.
What if you try Control A on that page? I wonder if it will just select it all. There you go. And now
That's
Control
probably easier to delete.
unclick.
It's a good idea. Let's do that. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I am putting them into, here's our initiatives and work items. I want to put it in.
Yeah, removing. Yeah, there you go.
And now I can go ahead. So we got, we don't need that. We don't need that. All right, so we got healthcare, right staffing teams, technicals, delivery framework, job fairs, mental health support, housing, higher substance, higher. I assume these were separate. Higher substance abuse and that looks like one. Okay, higher substance abuse guru, change agent, teams, metrics, culture shift, agile transformative priorities, resources, funding. Okay. I think that was it. Clean it up a little bit.
You don't need the 1, 2, 1, 3rd, and 4th, do you?
Yeah, I think I can delete from here, from funding,
Yeah.
after funding.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't know where I got all those from. Oh, that was from before. And then I'm giving it, here's the rest of the prompt. The rest of the prompt is I'm giving it that transformation backlog definition I showed you. So it's aware of what a transformation backlog is. So the prompt is create a transformation backlog to enable the OKRs, encompass this list of initiatives and work items, group them as synonyms, and then use the included transformation backlog definition. All right, so now we're going to get a transformation backlog. All right, so you can see how it starts. Here's a CaDoMi Agile Transformation Backlog created to support the OKRs you outlined. We want it to be aligned to the OKRs. The initiatives and work items that you guys came up with that you saw were important are grouped by their themes, similarly synonym clustered, and structured to align with the backlog. So we're building a backlog for our organization now. It's all aligned with ending street homelessness through community-driven agile solutions. So here's what we're looking for. Health and wellness integration initiative, implement comprehensive healthcare mental health support programs. So here's things we need to do organizationally: establish partnerships, design, launch mental health support, hire a substance abuse guru, right? Housing is specific, launch affordable, safe housing, employment enablement. Initiative, I'm just reading through some of these. Form an agile teams. This tells us we have to create the agile teams. We got to recruit and right-size transformation teams. We need dog, mice, and cat teams. We've got to provide training. We got to get, we have to identify and empower a change agent. We need to put metrics in place. We need to get cultures and values in our organization, get the tools and resources necessary.
Yeah, that change agent that's referring to could be an agile coach.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it gives us some interesting prompts if you want to do. We're not going to do it for this, but you can continue this conversation if you wanted to. All right. I am going to copy this and put this into the chat here. And it doesn't all fit. I got to break it into. Apparently, Zoom chat does not let you put more than 1,000 things at a time, 1,000 characters at a time. So we'll do the first 4. No, we're not going to do, apparently, constraints of Zoom chat. Can only do 2 at a time. All right, there's the first 2 posted. Let's post 3 and 4. Okay, 3 and 4 are posted, and now in Zoom chat, putting 5 and 6. And I'm putting 7. All right, Zoom chat now has all of it. All right, back to our presentation. Step 5, complete. We're rocking it, guys. We just put in what we need to do in order to get an organization transformed. So pretty powerful. Now we need to go ahead and we need to get towards delivery. What are we going to build? What are we going to do? All right, so delivering. We have to deliver against that vision statement. What does that look like? Well, we got to deliver meaningful business value, and we have to align that directly with the vision statement. We're going to do that by building features. We need to create features because they are the crucial bridge to get towards the high-level strategic intent, the OKRs we're looking for, and the on-ground execution to make sure we put something in place that matters. These are not meant to just be enhancements or capabilities. They are intentional investments to articulate the vision, tangible product outcome-oriented. That's what we're looking to do. And by defining the features, it becomes from a customer-centric lens. The homeless people and the people who are helping them. We ensure that every piece of work contributes to reaching the problem statement, the product vision, and the OKRs that we put in place. Things that we can measure, they're aspirational, give us the experience, and stakeholders can measure it. What else? Each feature is some chunk of functionality It's kind of a definition of a feature. Supports our product as it evolves. Easy to measure. Again, output, impact, not just output. And what else? Features transform the vision into action. Get into the agility that we did.
Yeah, and the features are what the Agile teams will be working on.
Yeah.
Right. That was part
The
of that.
dog team supported by the mice teams.
Exactly.
The cat team enabling all of that.
Right.
For systemic agility. All right. Introduce Purple Panda. Purple Panda, thank you for being one of our Agile coaches here. Purple Panda, CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT. We're taking the OKRs, so we're going to go back to the OKRs. We're going to bring in the CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT as our human interaction, and we're going to build a feature roadmap. We're going to do this with 2 parts in our prompt. I'm grabbing part 1. Let's go back. Here's the first prompt we're going to do to build a backlog. To build a delivery roadmap. So here's what I'm asking for. I wanted to design a feature roadmap that is traceable back to the OKRs with all the features. We want to create multiple features for each KR. I don't want to do a one-to-one. I need lots of features so we can actually build it. I wanted to do it in the user story format, so I told it what the user story format is. I want title, description, and I want acceptance criteria as a bullet list. I want all the features to be from the user's perspective. We always need to write it from the people receiving the benefit. And then each feature should be a vertical slice of value. I also said what output I wanted to create as my assistant. I said I want an outline style. You can choose styles. This is really important when you create prompts. Do I want an outline style? Do I want a table? Do I want a Word document? Do I want to create this as a bulk import for Jira? You have to tell it what you want. So I want an outline style. All right, let's run it. Now we're going to get a bunch of features.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so I said it took you 2 to 4 hours to build a vision. This is a 3 to 4 day activity.
It's like quarterly planning.
Yes.
Oh, 3 to 4 days. How about 3 to 4 months?
Okay.
Three times to get a hold of everybody on the calendar.
No, that's true. Exactly. Yeah. No, that is one challenge. Exactly
Right?
right. Man.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right.
3 months to get a story approved.
Awesome. You are right. Thank you, Marge.
International
All right,
date times
so-
also, like Sherman said, people are across different geographies. One day goes missing.
Yeah, and we're hearing from all your voices here. All of you are stakeholders. You're all involved in this as a human interaction. So we're doing this together. It wasn't just done for you, but it's done as partnership. All right, I'm not going to read these in details, but I'll point out a few just to make sure it feels right. Objective 1, ensure access to safe, affordable, and supportive housing. That was the objective, and this had a key result. That was the key result. Since we asked for traceability, it said, here's the objective, here's the key result, here's the features to fulfill that. One feature it came up with was a housing resource center portal. So as a housing advocate, I desire a centralized portal to find and connect with potential funding and housing partners so I can initiate and maintain strategic partnerships. Acceptance criteria, how do we know this is achieved? They need to be able to search and filter housing partners by region and interest. They need to submit partnership proposals, and they need to track that proposal status. Another feature, grant application assistant. All right, that's pretty powerful here. As a grant writer, I love this perspective. This is a big problem for anybody who's doing nonprofits. Writing grants. Writing grants is an art. Anybody who's ever written grants or worked for a nonprofit, you notice grant writing is definitely a skill, but it's art as much as it is a skill. All right, anyway, as a grant writer, I want a guided assistant to create and submit applications. All right, I'm not going to read them, but feels pretty good. I can see each KR. I can see features that were built against it. And I have all of these. All right. let me, I'm gonna do this for you. It won't fit. Go ahead and put it here in chat. Can't put it in chat. It's 5,800 characters. Chat only takes 1,000. I will do that later because we're using a lot of time. I'm just going to put a couple in here. I'll just put the first objective with a couple KRs. I'm just getting the first 1,000 characters so you guys at least get a little teaser here in chat. Okay, there's a little bit in chat here for you. All right, good job. All right, so now we have a roadmap, but we said we had 2 parts to this prompt. That was part 1. I'm going to show you this second part that I want to do. So let's go back and grab that prompt. And Purple Panda, please help us out. All right, so here's the second part. Second part about the prompt, I want a visual as a roadmap chart with timelines using terms called now, next, later, and much later. And I want to include the OKR traceability. So basically I got all these as an outline. Okay, well, what does the roadmap look like? That's the second part. Okay, did it a little different than I was looking for, but
It's interesting. It kind of resembles a story map.
yeah, well, we wanted a roadmap, which is a story map. Yeah, they are similar. It's kind of what I was thinking too. Agreed. Right. I was looking for an actual visual, an actual picture, but I'm not going to play with that now.
Yeah, like the running
Yeah.
back one. I see.
Yeah, it ended up building a table here. But you can still look at the timelines. Hey, what should we build now? Here's the objectives we build, and here's the features to build. So in the now, start with these. The next would be these, the laters and much laters.
Can't we just put it in Excel and pivot it?
Absolutely. I can absolutely say, hey, create this as an Excel spreadsheet, and I can do that here. But I was actually expecting this. We'll do one thing. And
Sherman, just a quick one in terms of that collaboration that we're doing now in real time. So wondering, since there's a limitation on the chat window, perhaps maybe have a common I don't know, Google Docs, which is shareable by everybody in the session. I don't know if Zoom has something like that. So you can just copy paste into that, and it also retains all the nice formatting. Yeah, moving forward, just an idea. Yeah.
All right, so it did it in one of my least favorite visuals, but it still did it. I don't love Gantt chart views, but you got the same concept here, which is what you're looking for. It gave you a key, now, next, later, much later. Here's the features, and here's, the greens are what you should build first, the now, then build these as next. We lost the traceability though, so this visual didn't come out quite right, but you can play with it and get it going. But like you said, Aries, obviously you can do your own graphs and charts here, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
One other thing to show with you is in ChatGPT, I can share this prompt. I will do that, and you all can be part of this. I just put it in chat, so you can actually join this chat session.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so we can actually share that. I haven't done that a whole lot, but I know you can actually open it and view it. And I believe you can actually contribute to it also. So I haven't played with that a whole lot, but it's pretty cool.
The mechanism should be as easy as doing an individual account. Like I generate the prompt on my mobile device, and then I'm on the desktop. and it remembers that sessions.
Oh, that it
beautifully.
does.
So
I'm actually
yeah.
using an app right now on my desktop. But if I bring it up in a browser, I bring it up in a phone, I have the exact same.
Yeah.
I can go to any
Yeah.
device and I got the same thing because I'm logged in. Yeah, as long as you're logged in. Yeah, because it needs to know who you are. All right, let's move forward. We got two more things. I've used most of our time, and I have one fun activity for us to do as a group before we call Scrum and Wine over. All right, we need to measure agility and then measure OKRs. All right, measuring agility. Why do we do it? Well, measuring agility, we need to self-evaluate that we can make an assessment for each Agile event to get maturity. Are we working as an Agile organization? Are our teams mature? Here's the problem statement. Agile teams are self-managing. How do they measure and improve? That's what we need to know. All right, to do this, we're going to bring in our CaDoMi bot. Our CaDoMi bot is going to help bring in the agility metrics. We have an agility metrics, which is one of our tools that we have to do, along with our AI coaching assistant, to get teams to be high performing. All right, so we are going to go. We're going to say thank you, CaDoMi bot, and we are going to log in. And we're going to log in here. So we're going to log in. I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about CaDoMi tools, but this is why you have to start using this product. We're going to go ahead. We're just going to do a sprint just so you can kind of see. All right, here's one of our dog teams. One of our dog teams on our Agile transformation journey was created as Dog Alpha. Dog Alpha needs to know, how are we doing? They need to measure, are we actually acting Agile so we can actually build these features to solve the OKRs, to match the product vision, to support the product problem statement. So the team sits together and they might have their change agent or Agile coach here, but how are we doing? So they follow a rubric approach and they answer these questions. From our sprints, do we consistently need external resources? Let's say we don't. Is the Scrum team cross-functional and promotes T-shaped skills? Let's say we do. Let's say we're doing pretty well. We've been doing a few sprints. Team members serve as liaison to one or two other teams. We need to help other teams out to make real agility. Let's say we're doing that. How well do we collaborate? Do team members put self above others? Well, no, we don't want to do that. So say no, good. Team shifts from individual to together? Yes. Team members work together to elevate and support each other? Let's say yes. All right, how well do we support values? Team members fail to live up to the Scrum values? No, we follow the Scrum values, good. Do we consistently live up to those values? Let's say we do, but let's say we're not acting as a reference model. So we'll say no here. Okay, how about our sprint health? Team members, are we aware of our sprint progress and our health? All right, team members are not aware, so no, we're not aware, so we're good. Team members, do we monitor our progress and health? Yeah, we check that every day. Are we consistently transparent across the organization? Yeah, we've done a good job of creating organizational agility. All right, what about our performance? Scrum events are not always performed. No, we do. We're following the framework now. Okay, great. Do we have trust and confidence? Yes. Do we continually inspect and adapt to maintain a state of high performance with visible outcome? Let's say no, we're not always getting outcome oriented. All right, so we just did a self-measurement as a rubric, and we can see our strengths and our areas for improvement. Awesome. We can use this to help us make adjustments. And we can now ask our AI coaching assistant. Our CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT is built in and integrated to say, this is great, what should we do? So let's ask our Agile coaching assistant for an idea. So you go ahead and you ask it. That will show up here in our inbox. Here's our dog Alpha. Here's the sprint that we just did. And it's going to make a recommendation. So based on our rubric we just ran at this time, it's showing like GMT time for those of us in California. It's not even GMT. Yeah, that is. It's like 7 hours ahead. All right. Based on the self-measurement data provided for the Scrum team, here's a concise recommendation for improvement. Focus on reinforcing the team's understanding and alignment with the team values to elevate performance to the same level as team composition, collaboration, and sprint health. Conduct regular discussions, activities to clarify, and so forth. Really cool. This is what we need to do to improve. And we can ask it to build us a Kaizen for team improvement. This is great, but I'm a really lazy Scrum Master. I don't want to be able to write a user story. Do it for me. We built Kaizen into this. CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT, create me a Kaizen user story. Sure, I can now do that. It's going to go ahead. It's going to do that. We'll open up our inbox again. We can come to the Kaizen. Give it a moment. It takes a moment to generate. Not there yet. Give it another 10, 15 seconds. Now we'll just look at another one. Don't have it yet. I'm just going to bring up another one just so you can kind of see what it looks like. But here's what it looks like. It's probably still generating in the background, right? But it created a Kaizen user story for us based on the based on the recommendation from the AI, based on the team self-measurement. It created a user story as a Kaizen with a title, a description as a user story with acceptance criteria. You can copy this and put it right into your backlog so the team can improve it right away. That's how we improve using CaDoMi Bot, built into CaDoMi tools, integrated. Okay, good. Celebrate. We now have organizational agility with measurement transparency. One more step. Yeah, applaud. Celebrate. Last step. We measured agility, awesome, but we need to measure OKRs. Are we actually making a difference? All right, last step in our journey here, measure the OKRs. Why? Measuring OKRs, discipline practice to make sure we get outcomes for those strategic objectives against those key results. Here's what we're looking for. Focus not just on completion rates, remember, not just output, but real value. Did we actually create value? Did we create business outcome? Did we make the behavioral, cultural shift that is necessary to solve our problem? In this case, people living on the streets, homeless people. Great. So we need to measure this, which means we need to bring in quantitative data and qualitative insights to make sure we measured it. Here's how we do it. Here's one of our programs. Our program is called ABDV, Agile Business Delivery Value. This is one of your tools, one of your accelerators in your backlog that you can do as a change agent, as an Agile coach. So ABDV, we need to look at Agile. We need to look at, are we aligned with the business? Did we deliver the right product at the right cost with the right quality? Did we make value for our customers and our users? Did they actually get the benefit that we went out to achieve? So ABDV brings all of these metrics together in order to basically be that bookend. Everything up until now was basically saying, are we building the right thing, or what things should we build? The ABDV, Agile Business Delivery Value, is saying, did we actually build the right thing with the right agility that aligns with the business, that delivered with excellence, that actually solved the problem and delivered value? A lot of organizations never do this.
Yeah.
They don't get here.
Yeah, and Sherman, it's a way too to measure the effectiveness of the OKR itself. Was the OKR when it was produced, was it, did it achieve what it was supposed to?
Yeah, and that should pop out in the business side because the OKR actually align with the business.
Exactly, yeah.
We might have written that OKR a year ago. Our business might have changed.
Yeah.
Right. So we might have delivered against an OKR that doesn't align with our business anymore, or we never actually aligned it with the business, but we went ahead and built it anyway.
Yeah. So this, I mean, to me, this would be something that the C-suite of the organizations should be interested in.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's go do this. So to do this, we're bringing in our CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT, Green Giraffe, come on board. We got each Green Giraffe as our Agile coach here. So we're bringing CaDoMi Agile Coach GPT plus delivery data. We need data. We need to know how well did we deliver in order to come up with to say, did we actually create OKR value delivery? All right, here's our prompts. We're going to do 2 parts. Here's the first part. Back to our Agile coach. And we're in here. All right, here's the first prompt. We want to generate an OKR delivery value rubric with themes. So we're going to build a rubric like you just saw, but we're going to do it here in the coach instead of a rubric in the actual CaDoMi tools. We don't actually have a rubric for this, so you're going to create your own. You've got a coach. It can do it for you. Create a rubric with themes of key results. We want the KRs, but we also want the ABDV. So we want KRs as one of our themes. We need Agile, business, delivery, and value. 5 themes. The rubric themes need to measure value after delivery, right? We want to make sure, did we actually deliver the right thing, and show it as a rubric table. So that's our first prompt. And it's going to build us a rubric, just like you saw in the CaDoMi tools. But since this rubric doesn't exist in the CaDoMi tools, you're going to do it here. Now, part of our vision, which we're doing this summer, you're going to be able to build your own rubrics in CaDoMi tools and actually use it in the tool. That's our vision. That's what we're building this summer. So this will be powerful. You can say, I want to do this. It'll be in the tool. It can save it. It'll store it for you. You can then use any OKRs you generate using AI. Right now, do it with the Agile Coach, thanks to Green Giraffe. But you can see you got exactly what you're looking for. Here's the 5 themes. Here's the measures for underperforming, improving, and high performing. Awesome. We now have a rubric. I'll copy that. I'll put that in chat here for you. Too big. I'll put most of it in chat for you. Okay, put it in chat, but it didn't do it as a tabular format. I can always ask it to save it as an Excel or something, just so you guys know. I can create a second and say, hey, please create an Excel document out of this. And then I can fill it out. We're not going to do that here, but we are going to grab the second part. Here's the second part we want. We want to be able to see a visual of it. So create a radar graph from this rubric. And for our purposes, I'm going to say, let's get some sample data. So I made up a little bit of data here. So I want to create a radar graph from this rubric with sample data where we have a high value. So we're going to say value was high, business was low, agility was medium, key results was high, and delivery was medium. Okay, so we're going to do this and let's run it. And we're going to get a radar graph. And that's the data we had. Now you'd have to know actual real data, but we made up some data here. And we now have a radar graph just like you saw in CaDoMi tools. You can see your strengths and your weaknesses. You can see we did really well in meeting the key results. We actually delivered value. We made a difference for the people on the street. We delivered it pretty well. It means we probably did pretty good cost ROI on that. We used Agile pretty well, but it looks like we struggled being aligned with the business. This might not be exactly what the business was seeking. We didn't get that full alignment. Maybe it didn't meet what the organization was intending to do. So we did a lot of good things, but we really struggled here. And now we can ask some really interesting questions to help us make better decisions going forward. Okay, celebrate again. That is the end of our journey. All right, here are 3 tools you guys can do. Okay, get the CaDoMi Agile Coach if you haven't already. CaDoMi tools. Go ahead, log in, register, subscribe, start using it. Get your teams and your organization to use it. Make a difference. Save yourself time and money because you have assistance, human to machine interaction. Do it. Use the CaDoMi ecosystem. Get familiar with it. This is your toolbox. You need to have that available all the time. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to grab these. If you don't grab them now, you can get them later. Because I want to do one activity here. 10 seconds. Okay. Feedback. Most of you know where to find me. Give me feedback. You can always get feedback here. scrumventures.com/event feedback. Love it. Write a Google review. That would be great. Tell people what happened here. It's awesome. When I do post it in YouTube, I would love for you to add comments in YouTube. Go to YouTube, and whether you watch this video again or not, put some comment there so other people who watch it know what to expect by watching this session. I'll edit the session a little bit to try to get rid of some of the time to make it go faster. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop recording.